Lex, I was just thinking about the way the fan base for the 49ers, how it became Team Trey and Team Jimmy when it should have just been Team Niners. And now I'm just looking at all the comments, and I'm reading all the texts, and I'm looking at Twitter, and I'm thinking about how the Warriors fan base now is basically going to be pigeonholed into picking Dre or Poole. It's going to be a thing all year. It's like, no, ship out Poole, we need Dre. A lot of Warrior fans, no, ship out Dre, we need to keep Poole. The division's already starting with the fan base because you see, well, Draymond deserved to punch him because Jordan Poole pushed him first. And it's just, you see that video, it changes everything.
It changes everything. It's kind of wild. It's kind of wild that and I'm sure people are saying this, but it's wild to me how anybody in this would not be on Team Poole. Like, this is where, you liken it to Team Trey, Team Jimmy. That's with the jersey on stuff. That was football stuff.
Who's the better player?
This is not about Golden State Warrior basketball. Right. This, to me, the question is not Draymond or Poole. It's Draymond, yes or no. And you're absolutely right. This is a complete game changer. The entire conversation we all had yesterday, there's only one thing I would walk back. The whole idea of the young guns versus the old guard and the finances of all of it. But there's one thing I would walk back, and it's this. We have said for so long, every time something like this happens with Draymond, well, you got to take the bad with the good, and he's a champion, and we know he's a hothead, and all of that is true. This one, for me, goes outside of that box.
It passes your threshold.
Absolutely. I don't care what you've done. I don't care what your history is, what your resume says. This is human being stuff, and this is a total game changer. This is going to be in one of the first few lines of whatever anyone wants to say about him at any of in the future. He may have just cost himself a TNT job. Like, this is unacceptable, and you now can see there was one thing yesterday. You watched the press conference.
I was going to ask you about
and
that.
You went,
the faces.
Hold on a second.
It was very
serious. Did that change your tone?
Totally.
Remember the conversation we had with the changeover? It was Jordan Poole, maybe he's cocky, yada, yada, yada. And Kurt and Curry went out of their way to say, it's been great for
I'm sure he is cocky. And like nobody, and that's fine.
Yeah, but Myers' face to me, this is not just a scuffle.
Right. Immediately you're thinking, what do they know that we don't know here? Because we all went on the premise yesterday just thinking, I think, the best in people, that what is some sort of he hit Jordan Poole. Well, was his open face? Was it kind of a shove?
Face wash. Was it through three people?
Like what happened here? And then they came out and you're like, why does this feel the way it feels? Now you get the video and you can see why.
Peter Frampton, do you feel how
that was a haymaker, no?
Oh, my God.
That was a straight right.
Straight right. Straight right.
Like the haymaker.
That was a straight right.
Straight right. I thought that the punch, it was not a sucker punch.
No, I agree with that.
At the same time, it wasn't a fight. When you fight,
you square up.
Exactly. Yes. You and I are going to fight. We're going to fight. And I was thinking about like grade school back in the day. It's like, I call you out. I accept. Meet you at the bike rack, 3:30. We are going to fight. So now we're going to fight. This was not that. And Bonte and I were doing this during the break at about 8:30.
Oh, sideshow.
Well, I came in and got in Bonte's face.
Okay.
Much like Draymond did. And his natural reaction was to push me away.
Get off of me.
Anytime anybody gets that, I mean, shoot, my beloved supper if I get that close to her, she pushes me away.
Well,
except the one time, and now we've got a 6-week-old.
Exactly.
The one time I was able to get away with it. But so that, if Jordan Poole pushes him away, that's natural. And then Draymond comes with you guys mentioned it earlier, the Mortal Kombat fatality.
Balrog, the Street Fighter.
No doubt, bro.
Dude, he launches into it like he is trying to cause harm.
And so he walked towards Poole to start the incident.
Yes. Listen.
Right.
The one thing.
By the way, I'm sorry, Mark. When he walked towards him to start the incident, nobody does anything because this is something they've seen a bazillion times before.
Yes.
This was not the first time we saw Draymond Green walk up on a teammate.
Yeah, that David West tweet that it was like, come on, no way.
And this is what I mentioned to Shasky. There's Patrick O'Brien. There's training camp invites. There's video coordinators. And the sense I got when I watched it was they've seen this all the time. Patrick, what did I say, Bryant?
Patrick O'Brien.
That was PTSD. That was PTSD on Warrior basketball.
Nelly was like, can't play with him.
Baldwin Jr., Patrick Baldwin
There's
Jr.
Anthony Randolph.
That was Vontae low-key saying he wants to punch Patrick O'Brien. That's what that was.
Hey, you know what? I kind of didn't want to punch him because man, Kansas go to the Final Four. And he beat Kansas in the second round and rolled my bracket that year.
Oh, my heart.
But like, these guys, they probably seen it already. It's like, okay, it's just them talking again.
Every day. Every day. It's
and
Thursday.
Then when that happens, it's like, oh.
Yeah, Wednesday, whatever.
Right. So
I've got to reject. We were just talking about that, and there's no way for us to know because a lot of people in this situation are going to be like, "Hey, it's me or him, or you need to suspend him." I don't know. I don't know if Jordan Poole is Jordan Poole going to be happy if he's suspended and therefore the Warriors lose games? Is a big fine? Who cares about his money? Does Jordan say I can't play with him? Does he say, hey, this needs to be figured out next year? I don't want to play here anymore. I mean, who knows what he's thinking? But as far as Jordan is concerned, whatever you think about Jordan Poole, money time, he is cocky, all of that, whatever. Maybe you love Jordan Poole. I'm not here today personally for, we don't know what Jordan said. No, that's your teammate.
Well, I agree with that.
No. You can, first of all, where's our mind going to go? What could Jordan have actually said that would justify that? And do you think there's any way in hell he actually said that and all of his teammates didn't even move? To me, that is not.
And if he said
that is not possible.
If he said something that was that punch worthy, Draymond doesn't saunter over. If Jordan says, Draymond, Honey Nut Cheerios, like famously, Carmelo Anthony, whatever, Draymond doesn't slowly sashay over. That explodes much quicker than that.
We justify a lot for Draymond, and this is what we do in our society when somebody is very successful. This is not justifiable.
But Mark,
this is not justifiable.
You have to leave out, and I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying any of it, but you have to leave out the option. We don't know what the relationship has been over the weeks, months, years prior.
Right.
Where one of the two, and I'm not saying, who knows, was emotionally abusing or yelling or screaming, or there was some sort of pattern between the two of them that led to this point. We've seen the incident. I've just seen in situations text group bullying, cyber bullying, talking. I take trainings all the time. I'm not trying to justify.
No, but now,
I'm just saying you have to hold out that little. You don't know.
I don't because now you're telling me that three people,
and it doesn't justify actions.
Three people who we respect emotionally at the highest of levels in Steph Curry, Steve Kerr, and Bob Myers. You're telling me that under your possibility,
I'm not saying
they're leaving that out. They don't sound the way they sound yesterday.
Well, I agree with that point.
Here's the thing.
I'm just saying, for us to sit here and know one way or the other what their relationship was, we'll never understand what their relationship was.
That's all I'm saying.
That's true, but it doesn't justify that action.
No question.
I feel a little bit bad, to your point, Mark, about Steve and Bob and Steph, because what they said yesterday, they said not knowing that the video was going to come out. Because when Steve says, we're going to handle this in-house, no, you're not. I mean, you might handle the punishment in-house, but what they said, Steve's like, Draymond won't be here today, but he'll be back Saturday, which tells me it's a one game. It's not even a one game. It's a one practice suspension.
How does that sit?
And now we see, now we say what we say, and we see what we see. And now does it feel like that's appropriate?
No.
So Draymond comes back tomorrow, and it's like, yeah, I'm really sorry. Jordan Poole had a fly on his nose, and I was trying to swat it because I know he doesn't like flies. And Jordan's allergic to bumblebees, and there was a bee on his. I mean, what are we doing here?
I got some questions for you guys.
We got
what do you want to hear from Draymond Green tomorrow?
What can he say?
If he does speak.
Man. I don't care what the words are. I care, similar to what we saw yesterday. I want to see what the demeanor is. And I want to see somebody who literally goes, it is time for me to take a look at myself.
Well, you know what? Now that I think about that, maybe we don't want to hear from Draymond. Maybe we want to hear from Jordan Poole.
I want to hear from everybody, right?
Jordan Poole is the big one for me.
I want to hear from everybody before I make any conclusions.
But the hypothetical I gave, I threw at Chasky yesterday was, what if you're JP's representatives and you go to Bob Myers to say, you got to choose. It's either us or him. Now what does it look like? Does JP even want to play with Draymond again?
Well,
does he want to be on the same roster? Maybe not. He's practicing. He's putting up shots. Hey, there's so many dynamics to this.
This is what they already had to figure out over the next year and a half anyway. It just adds a whole lot of drama to the whole thing.
It's been expedited.
I just think when you look at those three guys' faces and listen to their words yesterday, I bet every single one of us in this room and everybody listening has someone like this in their lives. Which is...
I was this person.
I love you. I love the reveal, by the way. And the good honesty from you earlier.
But it's not as simple as that person who wears you out. It's that person that keeps causing you to have to go clean up the mess. Mm-hmm. That's what Steph has nothing to do with this.
You're right.
He's got nothing to do with this. And now he's got to go to a press conference on a Thursday afternoon and clean up another mess. And at a certain point, everybody in your life, you got to look at that person and go, that's the last mess.
100%.
That's the last mess that I'm cleaning up.
Did you hear Bob at the end of it? He goes, I talked to Draymond. I told him, you're better than this. You're better than this.
Part 12.
32 years.
Exactly.
Part 12.
Right.
After all the stuff, like after last year ripping Steve and Bob for messing up the KD
When
situation.
Pat Riley, we look around the league, just look around the league like the landscape. You think Pat Riley's dealing with this?
Yeah, well, he did. He invited fighting with the New York Knicks.
Yeah, but
and it's talent tolerance like you talked about. And
that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm going.
Talent tolerance.
I hate to drag Quindary into it again, but you did earlier, and I thought you were spot on.
Oh, he's gone.
But exactly.
He's cut.
He's gone before Jordan Poole gets up off the floor.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. So,
what if this was 2016 Draymond Green and he did this?
But this isn't.
You know, what if he
hypotheticals?
Hypotheticals, because Pat Riley had Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason, and Xavier McDaniel fighting in the first day of practice, and he's like, "This is good for the team. This is awesome."
And again, it is a different era. The Jordan Steve Kerr thing doesn't hold water to me because that's so long ago. And
Jimmy Butler went at Eric Spoelstra during the Warriors game. Nothing happened.
But no punches.
Yeah, and
that's why Haslem
you're berating a head coach.
Yeah.
I
was saying this to Mark in the green room, and I might have been in the kitchen. Actually, I saw him when he walked in, and I actually came at him. I threw a punch. I missed. I was just trying to get him ready for the show.
I'm quicker than I look.
Ring night. Draymond Green. If he's on the floor, does he get booed?
My mother-in-law, who is like a diehard Warrior fan, who loves Draymond, excuses all his behavior. She doesn't want to see him ever again on the Warriors.
Right, and I heard all your callers, and so many callers are like, he's got to go. I'm just thinking about ring night in and of itself. So
it's 2 weeks from now.
There'll be a smattering, but this will calm down.
No, you can't have him out there for ring night.
Oh, of course you can.
He's not suspended?
And they will.
He's not suspended?
This doesn't just seem like...
You don't want your player getting booed at ring night.
Suspending him?
I think immediately when everyone brings up the league, I think of Aaron Donald. The NFL told you, and the NBA, I understand, has the exact same rule. The league is powerless.
Right.
This is a practice.
No, this is a team. It's a team suspension.
Same as Aaron Donald throwing that helmet against the Bengals when the league's like, nothing we can do. It's a practice.
But what about Jock Peterson slapping him, getting slapped on the field of play? It wasn't a game. It was
right before a game.
He got 3 games.
And they never recovered.
And it wasn't a joint. It wasn't a joint practice.
That's true.
That was a game.
The soul out of the Giants.
That was a game.
That was after slapping practice.
I have a hard time thinking he's going to be at the. Maybe I was way off here.
What's that?
I just have a hard time thinking he's there.
Well,
no,
think about the NFL.
I have a hard time thinking he's not.
You brought up Aaron Donald. They suspended Myles Garrett for swinging the helmet at Mason Rudolph.
That was during the
game.
During the game.
I'm telling you, this is
but you got to control it. But the NFL,
I agree.
Practice.
I agree.
Like not even look at the NFL for crying out loud. Richie Incognito got
the
multiple
NFL's
chances.
Insane.
You guys mentioned Romo earlier, okay? That again was in practice.
That was so good.
No, I really don't think. I don't think the league can do anything if the Warriors don't want them to.
This is the question that you guys are going to get presented to, and I'm sure you're going to probably talk about.
I'll dodge it.
I know you will.
Giant season recap today.
I tell you what,
Farhan at 11. Go ahead.
Farhan at 11.
Much less fireworks than yesterday.
Farhan is probably the happiest man in the Bay Area.
Dude, Russell Wilson is the happiest.
No one's ever going to show up.
My God.
Farhan's going to sit down. He's going to sit. Is this thing on? I'm sorry, no one's on the Zoom, Farhan. Nobody's here.
They're all unmuted on the Steph Curry Zoom still.
Totally.
Can someone hit the mute button on the Zoom?
Don't say hit.
Is Draymond on this team on ring night? Forget suspension. Is Draymond Green playing basketball for the Golden State Warriors by ring night?
Yeah.
Is he on this roster?
I think so. Because remember, what they didn't know yesterday is they didn't know that the video was going to come out. But they knew this. They knew internally what they were dealing with on an emotional level. They knew that already, and I don't even think that occurred to them. Yeah, I just
found out who was unzoomed or unmuted on the Zoom. It's no big deal.
Okay, all right. Yeah. No, I don't. I think
Steph Curry thing.
Yeah.
Here's I guess a different question then that I'm based on what you're asking. I'll ask this back. Do you guys think that now the video going public changes the punishment? They've already said we're handling this internally.
I do. Maybe I'm naive. I don't. I do. I kind of do.
But why? What would happen?
We've done this before in
but it's usually because sponsors start leaving.
For sure.
Right? Like sponsors are not going to leave the Warriors because Draymond punched Jordan Poole.
Well, because the way it was framed
what would force
before,
the Warriors to change their tune?
The fact that fans are now so outraged that at ring night, number 23, Draymond Green, you do not want your player booed at ring night.
The same fans who are so outraged over the Deshaun Watson situation, remote control in hand, we will be there on Sunday.
But what about humiliation?
These are not the same thing.
No one's giving their Warrior tickets back.
What I'm saying is that to Bonte's point, no, you're talking about the fans.
Yeah.
To Bonte's point, I'm talking about like it's one thing if no one sees it and it's just the rumor of I got struck or whatever. Now that I'm being humiliated on social media, maybe that changes the day. I'm asking out loud.
Jackson was like, yo, only would have to fight every single time I saw him until I retired. You got NFL players. You got Trae Young saying he's trying to get down to L.A., huh? The dirty little secret about Draymond wanting to play with the L.A. Lakers.
Right.
Now you have players from other teams commenting on this.
The NBA soap opera.
To me, the only way it changes is if Jordan Poole were to somehow force the issue, and I'm sure they've already had that conversation. If Jordan Poole has a press conference tomorrow and goes, I don't want to play with him anymore. Well, now we got a different story. Well, I don't think he's going to say that. I think he's going to parrot what Steph Curry said. We're going to handle this. Draymond Green's a part of this. We're going to go try to win.
Every media avail from now until the end of the year may potentially involve a question in terms. Jordan, I noticed that Draymond Green shot you a look in that third quarter possession.
Dibs.
Is that an overflow from when he knocked you out at practice?
That's why they looked so bummed out yesterday, because they know that this just changed the season.
And they went through that with KD, where every bat, every eye that he had, well, does this mean you're staying or you're going?
Oh, well,
you high-fived Sean Livingston in the third quarter, and you looked happy.
Right.
Are you coming back?
The biggest thing with KD that happened that season, first of all, grew with Shotgate, because KD wouldn't take any shots.
Best.
But also, you would watch KD during timeouts when he wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
And he would wander so far away from the tunnel when the media section at Old Oracle Arena. Remember that was section 124? I
yeah, exactly.
124. And we would be right there behind the Warriors bench and be like, wow, look at KD just kind of like in his own world. So people took that. It was like, why aren't you engaged in the timeouts? Why aren't you engaged in the huddles? Why aren't you shooting the ball more? That season became an absolute joke.
It's a different deal, though.
It's not fun to cover that team.
When you're an established NBA one, and you have all the power of an opt-out, and you can go anywhere you want because every team wants you, and it's going to be a max deal, is very different than a 23-year-old restricted free agent who's never been paid. Yeah. So Jordan Poole is not going to wander off into the tunnel during timeouts, because that's not who he is, and that's not where he is in his career.
But the threat of Draymond opting in, let's just say, let's put this out there that Jordan Poole's like, privately, you know what? I'm done with this dude. No more. Yeah. I don't want to play with him. And Draymond's like, guess what, guys? I got a player option. I'm going to be here for 2 more. Well, so Jordan Poole, that's why I'm out of here. So now what does the team do? The team says, Jordan, you go ahead, and I guess you're going to have to go somewhere else because we're married to Draymond.
No, you get on the phone and you try to trade him.
I'm glad somebody tweeted about Bobby Portis, right? How he basically broke Nikola Mirotic's eye socket. Mirotic never forgave Bobby Portis. Hell,
he left the country.
Hell with America. I'm going back to my homeland. I don't even want to be around these guys no more. When you punch a guy like that and it's circulating and Poole's family's watching this, and this is a worldwide basketball team. Warriors are a worldwide brand.
Oh, they're
worldwide brand.
The brand.
There's no coming back from this if you're Jordan. Like
the Niners have 4 million Instagram followers. Steph Curry alone has 24.
24, and you can say the media won't let it die, but the fans won't let it die either. Don't just put this on the media. This will be out there. And when you do something like this and you humiliate a guy like this, there's no coming back from that. I don't know how JP can look at Draymond Green the same. I just don't know. We can't. And I love Draymond Green. But I'm just like, damn,
how many times have we also, all I'm saying here, we've said so many times, meaning it in different ways, but Jordan Poole's a different cat. Jordan Poole's a different guy. I don't know. I don't know what his thought is on this. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know.
We did this. You brought up Jock Peterson a minute ago. A lot of us are like, how the hell could you just sit there and not react? And a lot of other people are like, yeah, like don't escalate. I don't know if Jordan Poole thinks I can't play with him, or if Jordan Poole, who went out and shot threes 10 minutes later.
That was back to my point.
Maybe he's fine.
But that was back to my original point on the relationship and what has built up or what has led to this. It could be nothing, something, somewhere in between. Like, who knows what their relationship is? I have no idea. Like, we're all psychoanalyzing
we have some idea. We have some idea in that Draymond Green walked over and absolutely cold-cocked him. That gives us some idea of the relationship.
Pretty sure Draymond wouldn't have done it to Steph. So, yeah, there's something there.
Yes.
There's
and if he did do it to Steph, are we having the same discussion?
No, he's no. He's
arrested.
Can we get back to the Steph thing for a second? That's the first time I can remember. That's the first time I can remember Steph Curry being the front man for something that's happened within the organization in that fashion. I wouldn't say he chastised Draymond or whatever, but just to see him have disappointment in Draymond, that was a first for me, and I was taken back. I was like, whoa, this is the first time I've seen Steph publicly acknowledge Dre really overstepped it this time.
And the resignation of having to be out there.
Yes.
Totally.
The sadness all three of them showed, the fact that those 3 press conferences were over the span of 2 hours, and Steph gets out there at about 2:15, and you could see on his face, he's like, I don't even know why I have to be out here. I'm so mad that I have to be out here because of this guy. Yet again, this guy has done another thing.
They look like they hadn't slept. I mean, like we should have, and I don't know how we would have, but when we saw that, now seeing the video, it's like, man, when you see the press conference, we should have known this was way worse than we realized.
Well,
we should have known.
I told Shasky this yesterday. What I was told was that it was way worse. And the reports came out.
You said that to me off the air yesterday.
I was like, it's way worse than that. I was told.
We can keep a secret.
It was, you can. But I was told, man, I'm hearing it rivals the Spreewell incidents back in the day. And I'm like, really? Really? And so the tweets that were coming out from Haynes and everybody trying to figure out, I was like, all right, we're going to wait. Let's wait on this. Because I heard it was a lot of people trying to capture that. Hey, it's just another practice. Hey, they got into it. Yay, Jordan Poole's immature. It was unfair how Jordan Poole was. Nah, he's not perfect in this situation, but I thought it was very unfair how some of those tweets came out about Jordan Poole. And I love the fact that Kerr went out of his way to defend Jordan Poole. I love the fact that Curry went out of his way, even though Draymond is his boy. That's his boy. Jordan Poole's had a great camp. His attitude has not changed.
You can slug your teammate if it's a fight.
You can't do that, man.
If we get into it and it's a man on man, it's a tussle, and that happens, okay, fine. 2 players are tussling. It's not great. He rolls right up to him. And again, if you haven't seen the video, 957 The Game on Twitter.
Nasty.
Just Google Draymond sucker punch. You'll find it on all of your social media networks. But
so much for
if Steve Kerr
Friday.
and Bob Meyer,
seriously,
Giant season recap coming up.
Michael Silver's cut. Talk about the 49ers are in trouble if they don't come back home 4-2. I'm like, Silver, pump the brakes.
If they do not suspend Draymond Green for a game or multiple games, what they're doing is they're saying it's okay to be a bully.
They're enabling the behavior.
They're enabling the bully.
And that's, believe me, it takes one to know one because I understand this. No, I see it that way.
You can gasp all you want. It's just a fact.
No, it's not.
If you don't punish this behavior, you are enabling the behavior.
No, you're picking the punishment, though. I don't know what the punishment is.
Oh, you missed a practice.
They could trade him tomorrow for all you know.
They're not trading him.
You have no idea what's going to happen next, and you have no idea what the conversations have been behind closed doors. They're not going to suspend the guy for ring night. If they do, then obviously Jordan Poole pushed a button. But outside of that, if Jordan Poole is over here going, look, let's go win basketball games. We're going to figure this out on a personal level. If he's over here going, I'll never play with him again, it could be anywhere in between. I don't know. But they told you yesterday there's no suspension and we're doing it internally.
Right, before the video came out.
Right, so what are we going to say about the Warriors if they react solely to the fact that the video went public? They got to be resolute enough to say, we're going to do the right thing by our team because we're going to do the right thing by our team. We're not going to react because now you all know what happened.
And what's doing the right thing by their team? Having him miss one practice in October?
That's up to them and Jordan. I don't know what's going on.
Somebody has an honest question.
Who knows what they did?
Honest question. Why didn't Poole fight back? Well, because he was on the ground.
He was on the ground.
Dude, he couldn't fight back.
He was up against the wall.
He was done.
Yeah, dazed.
I mean, hit a quitter.
If I'm Jordan Poole and I'm in a practice, next opportunity I get, I'm throwing a bow. I'm undercutting him. Oh, no, and this is the difference between me and you.
No, then you can't be on. They can't be on the team. If that's the way you're going to react, then you can't be on the team together.
How are you going to react? Oh, Draymond, good punch, buddy.
No,
you really knuckled me up great there.
Dibs,
impressive right hand.
Dibs, this isn't a video game. This is real life. Okay.
In real life, if you knock me out, and we did the same thing with Jock Peterson and Tommy Pham.
Then they can't be on the team together.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Then how do we resolve it?
I don't know, but you're not Jordan Poole, and we don't know what he's asking. We don't know what he wants.
Right.
We don't know that. But if that's the way he feels, then someone needs to be traded tomorrow.
Well, if he feels, I mean, how do you think he feels? Do you think
I have
he feels,
no idea how he feels.
So if the team doesn't punish him, and you're saying they probably should,
but you cannot function.
How would you feel if that happened?
Because I asked him that, and I said,
how would you feel?
I don't know if I could come back
There's
from
been
that.
verbal altercations I've had in this business, and it took me months to come back from.
Right.
And it wasn't globally broadcast. This is a global
That's what I'm
clip.
saying. Literally, Good Morning America's playing it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I probably.
Yeah.
I first of all, I would not show up at practice the next day trying to hurt him. I would probably not want him to be on the team anymore.
That's where I would be.
I would probably,
I
would probably not want him on the team anymore.
One or the other, yeah.
But then again, you got to understand how many millions of dollars are on the line for these people. Jordan Poole,
get his money.
He's going to get his money.
Still gonna get his money. That's not changing.
But it's not just contractual. They understand better than we do, I think, sometimes, the value of winning to their brand. Gary Payton II was a what a year ago, right? And then he was a part of a championship team, and now he's got $30 million in name value. Jordan doesn't want this season to not go well. So that's a part of this conversation, too.
But his agent's probably telling him, look, whether it's 120 from the Warriors, 120 from here, like, I'll get you 120.
Yeah,
but 120 on the 9 seed in Charlotte is not
still 120.
No, it's not.
It's still 120.
Not if you can make 120 here and be part of a massive global brand.
And get knocked out at practice, which is kind of fun.
I mean, again, I'm not putting thoughts in Jordan Poole's head.
Steiny brought something up yesterday.
Steiny
brought something up yesterday that I had completely forgotten about. When Draymond got hurt last year, right before the Cleveland game, Clay came back. The Warriors instantly went on a 9-game winning streak, and we all didn't bat an eye. You can make the argument that as important as Draymond was to that championship team, Jordan Poole is just as important.
And then they careened out of control, and we spent 3 weeks saying that they can't function.
I told you guys not to panic about it.
It was before Steph.
That was when they were easing back Klay Thompson.
3-4 week period where we were all like, this team can't function
Klay
without
was
Draymond
starting,
Green.
and Klay wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
JP had lost his rhythm because he went to the bench.
This
There was a variety.
This is going to be a different team. It's going to be different
I think
injuries.
Otto Porter Jr. went in a huge slump at that time.
Shasky, you know how I was acting. I was like, dude, it's fine.
I was the one freaking out.
Yeah, I was like, just be healthy by the playoffs. Everything
No,
will
they
be fine.
played that thing like a fiddle. They played their injuries like a fiddle.
But they were hurt. They were all hurt.
Yep.
But you could say, can you win without Draymond Green? I think the answer is yes. Can you win without Jordan Poole? Probably. But he's a playmaker.
One thing
who can
about
play
Jordan
off the ball.
Poole, the kid can take a punch. Because he was back in practice yesterday.
I would be disappointed in the Warriors. I'd be disappointed in the Warriors if they come out today or tomorrow and now change everything that they said they were going to do.
I'd be disappointed if they didn't.
Yeah, that's
new information.
It's not to them.
Oof.
Well, then they tried to throw dirt on top of it, and now it got exposed. And they better not. I wonder who
somebody
leaked
got
it.
A fat check.
Well,
somebody said this is how you know Bay Area rent is high. Somebody from the
I love that.
Like,
but by the way, players have access to that video.
Yeah, so we were told that
I heard that.
Yep. There's a security cam, but one of the guys who was in the Phoenix Suns front office, Amin El-Hassan, his hypothesis is that a security camera. It's a security camera guy or someone who's on the security staff who was probably not making a lot of money. Got that information and feed it. Who knows who gave it to him?
Who knows?
It's air.
If I'm the Warriors, I'd check the bank accounts of all the security guys.
Well, they got cash, probably.
Figure out.
Who knows?
The last bag of cash in the
envelope of cash that says TMZ across the front of it.
Damn.
By the way, take the Niners, lay the 6. We'll see you guys Monday.
Wow. Look at you.
Oh, wait, is there a football game this weekend?
By the way, your
22
boy
to
had Broncos.
11.
I bought the point and had Broncos minus 2.5. That's a bad beat.
Under.
Yeah, we talked about the unders.
I took props and I hit those, so
I threw so much on the under on like Tuesday. I looked at it Monday. I'm like, oh my god!
I just
the under was 42. They could play the game again. They still haven't gotten to 42. Unbelievable.
Boy, all right, here we go. That's it.
Play the game.
Willard Dibs coming up, brought to you by On Deck Small Business Loans.